Space, the final frontier. These are the spinning vision voyages of the starship Unreliable. It's Captain Jules Nemours to explore strange and new ladies, to seek out new life and new drugs, to boldly mind trip where no man has mind tripped before. Hello, welcome back to Let's Play The Outer Worlds, where we are in space. Space. It's quite spacey with everything floating and such. Ooh. So, yes, we are supposedly have some stuff in our quarters, and we could also level up a little bit. Let's do that. Let's see, we're level 8, and we have 10 points. So, let's see, what shall we be good at? So, this is not too useful. Armor. So the 60 here is very useful, so once we have some more points we should go for that. Let's see. Alright, that's not too important here. So more drugs, that sounds like very Jules Nemours. And lockpicking. I'll see, I don't much care for preview, we'll just take everything we can get. Pickpocket? I don't think we're the pickpocketing type. I do think we want to lie up to 40, so I think we'll at least put 3 points in here. Honestly, it's we have 7. Yeah, let's put the rest in ranged weapons. There we go, now we're 20 at least with everything. And is there anything at 39? No, but I suppose we can put 1 point in leadership. There we go. Time dilation location hits. You've increased time dilation location hits. Oh, that's nice. Guess that was of the 20 skill points in weapons. So good. And we get another perk. What shall we do? Honestly, I don't fast travel that much, so let's see. More health points, that's always welcome. We're not lone guarding, so that's not worthwhile. Walk speed, that may be a plus. Oh, less weapon durability loss. Yes, this will save us a lot of money in the long run, I imagine. Right, so the captain's quarters. Ooh! Souvenir! Score! I don't know if I want that as a souvenir in my quarters. Thankfully this is a bunk bed so you don't have to look at that thing. But still, you know it's creepily staring at you from behind this thing. Right, so we have the holographic crowd, which is a disguise kit. Very nice. Excuse me if my voice is a little bit off and I cough every once in a while. I'm a little bit under the weather. Ah, so we can dump things here. That'll be handy. Actually, let's indeed actually transfer some things to here that we don't need. So we're probably not going to use this one anytime soon. I do like the lightsaber, let's keep that around, but these are all not melee weapons I think we'll be using anytime soon. Oh, we have 2 lightsabers. Cool. Oh, nice shock stick. There's one of these we'll probably have to sell. I'll probably won't be using this one. Grenade launcher, probably not something I use on the regular, no. Light machine gun. We have 2, right? We'll keep 1, sell 1. Yeah, and the rest probably all needs selling. Alright, good enough for me. Armor. Let's keep one of these around. Alright, and with that I think we're happy enough. Ooh, determination. Alright, so let's check the message of the late Alex Hawkhorn. And Rep Mess from EU Bedford. Thank you. Oh, I forgot to mention in my previous message, silly me, I'm mailing a copy of my favorite serial, Space Adventures of Singularity Steel. It's about a dashing space pirate with a heart of, well, steel. It's not exactly board approved, so you don't be showing it around. Ooh. Risky entertainment. I guess we all got that. Alright, logs. Shrink ray. Note to self, moments later, no Ada weekly contact. Ah, so there's a shrink ray in Phileas's lab. Cool, might need to pick that up. Black market leads. Guess this just shows off to, yeah, the groundbreaker we have to go. Hammer power. Oh. Did not send everything. So the Hugh Bedford seemed to talk a lot with old Alex Hawk of Hawthorne. Okay. Look, there's no call shouting, my table's busted. Oh well. Weird. Well, that's worthless. Well, it is worth something, so that's why we pick it up, but not something I would use, no sir. So checking on the crew, what is this? Sam. There's no response from the auto-mechanical. Zero adds just a close letter Sam. Okay, well, this brings about some questions. That brings about some ammo. So who's... I'm thinking this may be Pravati's quarters. Given the Spacious Choice logo and everything. One still renting you. Yeah, I think this is Pravati's quarters. Sure she won't miss the ammo. Yeah, first one dead. Yeah, this is Pravati's quarters, I see. Oh, I guess that must be that. Nice looking fella. Let's take all her hygienic products. Oh well, this is the Vicar's quarters. Index of banned literature. So he has a lot of books. Very rather old school and heavy ammo. Thank you, Vicar. Ooh, aged whiskey. Man of taste, I guess. Tossball trading cards. Science of Tossball. That doesn't seem like very fascinating literature. Well, let's have a chat with Vicar.
By verity, by strength. What are we contemplating today?
I'd like to know more about something I'm flying with. What is your story, Vicar?
Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just your run-of-the-mill vicar with a violently enthusiastic disposition.
Violently enthusiastic, huh? Under which circumstances does that come out? Is it when I say Deus Vult?
That's what my parents called it. I grew up in a pit of a town, much like Edgewater. I was destined to be a laborer like my parents, but I was infected early with a need to solve the equation.
Oh, I thought it was the plague.
My passion didn't sit well with them.
And why were they not so passionate about the solving of the equation?
My parents, ironically. They internalized the precepts of scientism like no one I've ever known.
Scientism.
They had a pure faith. A faith that brought joy to them regardless of the situation. I envied that.
Scientism.
I wanted that peace. I thought if I became a vicar, I could find it. Or at the very least, find out why I lacked it.
Well, the word scientism seems... Ugh, it just feels dirty in my mouth. Tell me more about your crazy religion.
The simple version is this. The force which we call the Grand Architect created the universal equation that underlies and defines everything in the universe. Everything flows from the equation, or in layman's terms, the grand plan. Is the Grand Architect a consciousness? A natural force? Did it create the equation on purpose? The answers to these questions don't really matter. The equation, the plan,
sounds like it does.
is all that matters. Contentment is found by accepting one's role in the plan.
Alright, sounds very much like surrender to conformity. It is a rather convenient way to control the masses.
It can be if abused, but that can be said about anything. However, in the case of the board and Halcyon, sadly, I believe you are correct.
So remind me what these philosophists are. They seem to be opposed to your way of thinking.
Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of the philosophist perversion of Bakonu's thoughts came more than a century after his death.
Yes, you already said that. Okay. So just religious dogma from another way. Very nice. You seem rather trusting to just sign up with a guy you know nothing about, except that he has a kind of a strange accent. A penchant for putting everything in an inhaler and sniffing it.
I have run headlong into too many walls in my pursuit of the truth. This book is my last hope, and you were my only hope of getting it translated.
Look, just because I have this accent doesn't mean I actually speak French. I mostly do it to impress the ladies. What if the book doesn't hold all the answers you're looking for?
I honestly don't know what I'd do. This quest has consumed me for the better part of my life. I fear there's nothing else left to me. What about you? What's your story?
Oh, I'm a thrill seeker, a lover of great renown.
Yes, very funny. Just like the masked marketeer, right?
I am not familiar.
Everyone knows that Aetherwave serial. Where have you been?
Frozen in space? I was a colonist on the Hope, and a scientist named Wells, he got me out.
And how did he do that?
Chemicals. Yeah, I believe he stole the body from Hope and thawed me out with chemicals.
Well, you do seem different than every other colonist. Let's pretend for the moment I believe you. What are you going to do now?
Well, I am hopefully helping him recover some chemicals and everything. Always good to find more chemicals.
That seems a dangerous proposition. Why risk your life now that it's been returned to you?
I don't know. Because it's the right and most adventurous thing to do.
A commendable attitude.
Oh, thank you for saying so. So any ideas where you find someone who actually speaks French in this colony?
I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's an expert on Bakonu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him.
It sounds like a good lead. Where could we find him?
That's a good question.
Yes,
We should
that's why I
start
asked
on the
it.
Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures.
And how does a simple vicar turn out to be such a high-skilled hacker?
Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain, secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock. I meditated, led sermons, provided guidance to the inmates as needed, of course.
Right, so you were
I
in
also
prison.
played prison yard tossball and taught myself a bit about computronic security systems.
Sounds good then, let's go.
Thank you, Captain.
Because asking whether how a crew manifest can help you track down someone you're looking for is stupid. Obviously you can use that. Ooh. Yes, I think we took this off the wall back in Terra. Cool poster. Alright, let's see what else we have got around. These quarters still seem uninhabited. Still. Very much still. We'll have more friends along the way. Ooh, tobacco ears. Yummy. And vodka! Oh, suddenly I change accent, comrade. Hello there! Comradine Pavati! Will you drink vodka with me?
Sometimes I can hear Vickers saying prayers to himself. Sometimes I hear him cussing about tossball scores.
Yes. And let's actually get back to the right voice and not drunken lunat with had too much vodka. Do you think... I've completely lost voice right now. Did you learn the trade from your father of a mechanic? It sounded like it when you talked with Reed.
Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all my life. Mr. Thompson never let me forget how funny that was.
Yeah, well, he is fired now. That is funny. So you worked beside with your father your whole life, then?
Except for my schooling years, I was always beside him. Or tied to him. He used to carry me about in a sling when I was real little. When I got older, he set me to sorting tools and parts while he worked. Later, he taught me simple fixes like busted crate latches.
And has your dad ever worked on a spaceship before, like this one?
Not on the regular. Once in a great long while, a Saltuna boat would break down on the pad. He'd always bring me along for those. Mostly, he did the same as me. Kept Bess, the cannery, running. Turned loaders, plumbing and electricity, some plastering. I never got the hand of that.
Reed kind of did seem to have it in for you.
I'm not exactly a model employee. Not like he wanted. The kind that stays quiet and gets the right work done in the right order every day. It's not normal for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling and your career. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us.
Oh, that's a bit weird. So one aptitude test determines your whole life? That seems awful. How can you change your minds midway and all that?
Well, they're powerful good tests. They rattled off this whole list of names who'd worked on them, with fancy bits hanging off them. Doctors and esquires and the thirds. Even if you don't believe they actually catch what everybody's best at, everybody's got to take them. So at least it's fair-ish.
Did it get named the goat? Because it sounds very familiar with a goat. So why would you be unhappy about you getting a maintenance job?
Because they were hoping their own kid would get the job and get sent back to Edgewater. When folk go away for schooling, they don't get back to where they begun. Not usually. You go straight to your first job, wherever the company's got an opening.
And you don't have a say in this at all.
I reckon you could say, no thanks, I don't want a job. But then you don't got a job.
Okay. Well, that is, I suppose in this society that is as good as death with all my brother's thing. But you are actually good at this and enjoy it, no?
Well, I'm good at making things work the way they ought. Not so much at doing such to somebody else's schedule. There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's tomorrow and I've blown another deadline. Anyhow, I was happy to get back home. I didn't care much for schooling.
You didn't like your classes and the adventures you could get in school?
Oh, there were a whole lot of reading, not nearly enough doing. Like, before they'd issue you a wrench, they wanted an essay on the design of different wrenches. Then there'd be quizzes on company regulations for storage and maintenance of wrenches.
Yeah, bureaucracy. Wonderful. Not. That is sarcasm, you see. But you had parties and such in your time off, yes? Why at school parties?
As soon as I got permission, I spent all my time in the machine shop. They had all manner of parts, but they didn't want me using them, so I had to sneak them sometimes. I even slept in there. Had a hammock tied up in the rafters. Before I left, I installed a little skylight for myself, so I could see the stars.
And that's it? You didn't spend time with friends and parties and all that? And with lots of drink and strange new sensations and stuff you put in your body?
Can't say I had many. Mostly I kept to myself. Going to the community center to hear music, be in a crowd with people knocking into you. It all just made me want to run away. When my roommates tried to talk, I'd get so nervous I'd be drenched in sweat. It was easier for everybody when I stayed off on my own. I doubt any of them remember me now.
Oh, that is rather sad. So after school you moved straight back to Edgewater, it sounds like.
Yep, nothing much had changed. Everything was a little grayer, a little dirtier. Dad met me at the shuttle and gave me a big ol' hug. I noticed straight away that he was moving slower and stiffer. He made a little grunt when I squeezed.
Mm-hmm. So, hard life caught up to him. But I saw the picture, he was not that old, was he?
No, but a whole life taking care of Edgewater by his lonesome, working with all kinds of chemicals, it wears on a body. When I left for school, everything got harder for him. I used to help him lift the heavy things, and my hands didn't shake for the fine detail work.
Oh dear. Rather grueling job then. Did you spend much time to him after you got to school before he, went away?
About a year. I tried to do more of the work so he could rest. His heart gave him pains. Dad never said that he loved me, I knew on account of him showing it. How he'd stay up late to help with my projects or listen to my fretting. Oh gosh. Look at the time. Sorry to bend your ear so long.
Yes, this is
And I got
sad.
so much to do before this ship's in decent shape.
Oh well, I think it's in fine shape. Let us head on over. Time to hit space and all that. Well, at least we have a bathroom. Very important on a spaceship. So let us, yes, got everything settled. We have had some nice chats. Little powwows with our crew. Well, there's still garbage to collect, but we'll do that in a bit. For now though, let us head on off to something else in space instead of hovering around here. Ooh, navigational terminal. Oh, there's a little sun. That's actually rather nice looking. So we have to head off to the groundbreaker apparently, so let us go there. I don't know where we are exactly, but are we here? No. Why can't we go to that? I am confused here. I mean, we're supposed to go. I suppose we can go over here.
Tested.
Welcome to the system map,
Nation
yes.
reached. Scylla.
Ooh, well that is nice, but that is not where we want to go right now. Alright, why can't we go to this thing? We're supposed to go to the Groundbreaker, right? I am very confused. Maybe we need to have a
Welcome
word
back,
here.
Captain. How can I be of assistance?
No.
May luck be with you. Of course, as I am sure you are aware, luck does not exist.
Don't
But
tell me
it
it's the
seems
Force.
to comfort humans to believe they possess good quantities of it.
So I don't know why we can't go to the Groundbreaker, but next episode we will go to the Groundbreaker, wherever that is. So till then,